Hi, one forum news brings you the best. Please kindly subscribe to this channel. Your comments and your likes will be highly appreciated. We are going back to South Africa again to take a look at what is going on in that country when it comes to politics. Yes, don't forget, we are in election year in that country and everything is about politics now. Yes, the fever is at high pitch. Yes, I can tell you for a fact the court cases here, the campaigning here, hitting here and there. I'm not talking about physical hitting. No, exchange of ideas. The ideas are coming, the people are laying out their policies and their plans here and there. And some of us are enjoying this so much because when it comes to politics is ubiquitous, it's all over the place, politics is everywhere, and we are all political animals. So things like this make some of us so excited because this is the beauty of democracy. You say yours, I say mine, and as we are here, we'll learn from you, our audience, and you also learn from us. That is how it is. Yes, no one's know everything. No, not at all. So we'll be here to bring you the best, and we are expecting the best from you through your comments and your likes so that together we make it happen. 2024 election in South Africa, we are here to discuss everything for you. Now let's go straight forward and look at what is happening. You know, this is the seventh, for the record, this is the seventh general election since the apartheid was overthrown, or since the apartheid left South Africa. You know, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 7. This is the seventh one. And it's a very great year for the citizens of South Africa. We are talking about ANC in office for 30 years. That's 3 decades. Yes, they've been doing so well for the country. And don't forget, a lot of coalitions are going to happen when it comes to this year's election. Why? Because every political party is so anxious to take political power. You know, the primary aim of every political party is to capture power. That is the primary aim. When you form a political party, your basic aim, no matter how weak you are, your basic and the primary aim is to win political power. And all the political parties, you can talk about DA, you can talk about ANC, you can talk about MK, you can talk about the rest, or what have you, the rest of them that are there. You have EFF is also there. Yes, it's all about political power, and they are campaigning and punching each other with very great facts and policies for the people of South Africa to buy into those ideas and vote for them. That is what's happening. But the coalition is going to happen a lot because these days you can see that once you are able to have a formidable case as well as formidable partners when it comes to politics, especially with South Africa, you'll be able to function well in government. That is exactly what is happening. That is why it wasn't a surprise to some of us when in Johannesburg, the EFF and ANC went into some form of coalition. That's early part of 2023. Yes, if someone should tell you that will happen, looking at them in their parliament or legislature, you know that these are arch enemies. Yes, they have diverse ideas. They don't agree on a lot of things. But when it came to something for them to come together and win or lose together, yes, they were able to form a formidable team, and that happened when it comes to the MMC as well as the mayorship. Yeah, that was exactly what happened. So that is going to happen in the forthcoming election also on 29th of May 2024. A lot of coalitions are going to happen. Already, some of us, we are picking some tips or some information already that some parties are already in talks and trying to come together here and there. Though it's going to be very difficult because the weaker parties are generally, the weaker parties may be making some demands of the stronger parties when it comes to the coalition. Yes, and most often than not, because the stronger parties have upper hands, they may not curtail or they may not agree as much as the smaller parties, because they also feel that no, in as much as they need the smaller parties also need them. That is where the problem is when it comes to negotiation about coalition. But that is going to happen definitely. You see arch enemies coming together to fight against one or different person. Yes, that normally happens. Now let's move on and see exactly what is going to happen. This year's election, a lot of things are going to happen, and the election is going to be based on one, corruption. Yes, when you talk about corruption, it's something that is all over Africa. It's not only South Africa, and some are just perception. Yes, but if corruption is used and the opponent is successful in sticking that onto you as a political party, that's the end of you when it comes to Africa. Yes, though some may just be a perception, but if they are able to use the media to stick that on you, that is forever. You are down. But we always forget that when it comes to corruption, it's two ways: the taker and the giver. The giver and the taker, they are all guilty of corruption. But most often than not, for a government to be affected negatively is corruption that the opponents use all over Africa and all over the world. And this is becoming very famous in Africa. And the second thing also that will happen in South Africa when it comes to the issues based, the next one will be power crisis. Yes, there are lots of energy crisis here and there. Though it may not be the fault of the ruling government or anybody, it may even be as a result of sabotage. Yes, because as you know, there are people already in the system who also don't want the government to rule again or to continue with the ruling here and there. There may be some sabotage, but all these ones are all allegations. There are no facts behind it. But that is how politics occur, or that is how people, that's political parties, that's what they do. You know, Africa, the sad aspect of Africa politics is either your opponents will undermine you or sabotage you for him or her to come into power, which is so bad. We should concentrate on that is continuation of power. What that simply means is you are out, I'm coming to continue whatever that you've done. But most often than not, we work to undermine one another so that we can come to power. And sadly enough, we do things that turn out to affect us. Today, we are talking about power crisis in South Africa. It may not be the action or inaction of the ruling government or whoever is the chief executive officer. Yes, it may not be. It may be as a result of one issue or the other, or decisions taken many years ago. But this is the government that is facing that, and the opponent, that is opposition parties like the EFF, as well as MK and DA, they'll be using that against the ANC. Yes, that is going to happen. So don't forget, a lot of people are looking at that, and a lot of people that is in the hinterlands, they know very well that the power is a very great problem for them. And even these days, factories are also suffering. That's going to play a very great role in the politics of South Africa. But as you know, the government in power, so they will do their best to keep the power on. Yes, during the election year or whatever, during the election season, they will keep the power on. If they have to move mountains, they will move it because they also really want to be in government. Another thing also will be the land reform. Land reform, the case of the EFF already, they have their slogans and the things that they say about the land here and there, appropriation without compensation here and there, and other parties also disagree with them here and there, and that is going to play a major role. And it's all about the citizens, those that are going to vote. They have the power now, yes. So it's for them to listen to the principles and the policies of these various political parties and vote for the best party. But what is happening is, it seems a lot of the youth, they are seeing the 2024 election as their 1994. Yes, that is what they are saying. But let's see the role that the youth are going to play. Those that were 1 year before the first election, during when Nelson Mandela took office. Yes, that's 1994. They are now 30 years here and there. Let's see the decision and the influence of those people. That's the youth from 1 to 30 years. Those that are 1 year, I'm talking about those that were 1 year in 1994, and now that they are around, some of them will be around 60 here and there. Let's see what is going to happen when it comes to the voting pattern of South Africa. But don't forget, the ANC is working so hard also to make an impact, and they have the numbers, they also have the power. That is it. But a lot is going to happen. Another thing also that is going to be of a paramount interest for all the political parties to speak on is going to be crime. Yes, when they talk about crime in South Africa, it's very, very sad, especially gun violence. It's very rampant. And this is something that for now, I can say for a fact that it's going to be very difficult for any government to be able to curtail that. Why? Because the guns are all over the place. They're in the hands of people. Some are legal, some are illegal here and there. So for them to be able to do that, it has to take a very great political will for that to be done. And they have to give amnesty to a lot of people to surrender their guns, because the guns are all over the place. And once the guns are there, they are out there, they will definitely land in the hands of the wrong people, as is happening always. Today, this person is killed, this person is killed, this person is killed, this person is kidnapped. That will continue. Crime is something that the opposition parties, the EFF, the MK, as well as the DA and the rest of them are going to focus on. And they will highlight on that and let the people know that, no, give me the chance, I'll come and check here and there, do this for you, and all these crime rates will go down here and there. Yes, but nobody should think that even the government is power is just standing aloof. No, they're also working hard when it comes to the crime. But the difficulty is, the only way that crime can be resolved totally is if those that are the criminals decide to change from their bad ways and do the right thing. That is the safest way and the simplistic way of resolving crime. And that is what is impossible or very difficult to be achieved by most governments. Some may argue that no, but some countries are able to achieve that. but it's going to take a long time for South Africa to work on that, because there are lots of guns out there, allegedly, that are in wrong hands. Yes, that is it. That is in wrong hands. So the opposition parties, or those that also want to be part of government now, they will capitalize on that and make a lot of noise about that. And housing also, yes, housing is also one serious thing that is going to play a very significant role. You know, since 1994, they've been incrementing the housing sector here and there. They were able to add about 3.4 million housing units all over South Africa. They did very well, yes. They did very, the ANC did very well for South Africa. But the verdict will come after the 29th of May 2024. Yes, we are talking about 2024. And we'll be here to analyze everything, bring every fact to you, and analyze everything properly, from all the camps, from ANC, from MK, from EFF, from DA, and all minor political parties. We'll be here to bring you the best. And we are counting on the EC, that's the Independent Electoral Commission. We are counting on them for them to do well and make the whole of South Africa as well as Africa proud again. Yes, because democracy is the way to go, and we love democracy. We are enjoying democracy. It's only democracy that will allow you to say your own. Let me also say mine. So, as I always say, please let your comments keep coming. If you have something about us, feel free to express that. We are here to listen to you as you also listen to us. Please, for more, kindly subscribe to this channel, One Forum News, for the best when it comes to politics of Africa and historical antecedents. When it comes to crime and security, we are here to analyze and digest everything to you. We'll simplify everything for your understanding. Always be in touch with us. Thank you so much. Your likes and your comments will be highly appreciated. I wish you all the best, and South Africa will win again when it comes to election of Africa. Thank you so much.